and welcome. It's Rocio, your community manager for Life by You. Today we actually wanted to go through some of the questions that we got last week from our video through a video, because sometimes while writing through text can be helpful, video can be easier to demonstrate exactly what we want to answer. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the questions we got was from peppermintholly. They asked, can we have cheats to max out our character's romance or friendship with another character in the game? Fantastic question, and yes, let me show you how. You can actually do this straight from the character profile, no need to enter any tools. Basically, all you have to do is go to the social tab. Here we see Dem and Tommy's relationship. Right now, they don't have a lot going on, they're just roommates, but let's say we want them to be romantically involved. You can just go ahead and drag that bar. And you can move these bars completely independently of each other, so if you want them to have a really high romantic relationship, but they may not like each other that much, that's totally doable. Basically, tell whichever story you want, create whatever drama you want. Another question we received is, can relationships be one-sided? So for example, one has a crush, the other one doesn't. So we just saw Dem's relationship to Tommy. Let's go to Tommy and see how Tommy feels. You might remember from a couple of seconds ago, but like was pretty low before and romance was a little higher. So in this case, you can see that Tommy actually feels more like than love. And I'm sensing some roommate troubles, if that's the case. If you want to reduce the amount of angst in your household, you can always adjust the other person's relationship values as well. And the person that asked that question is absolutely pathetic 150. Thank you so much, and what a beautiful username. Just to quickly answer a question from Sarah P. You might have seen this just from playing through right now, but one question we received was, can you control anyone at any point in the game? And yes, you can. So right now I've shown you between Tommy and Dem, but let me show you something I showed in a similar, smaller video. But you can basically F4 and go to whoever in town you want to, and voila, you're playing as them. Let's head back to Tommy and Dem for our next question. We're back on the social screen for a question from CollieHermai. They ask, is it possible to have love-hate relationships? Like, I hate you, but I'm also attracted to you. The short answer here is yes, you can. So you can play around with chemistry, romance, and the like bar to establish whatever relationship makes the most sense for whatever story you're trying to tell. So if you want, you can have really high romance where they don't even like each other, or conversely, you can have best friends who are also in a romantic relationship. For those who like enemies to lovers, you can also go into the dislike section of the like bar. So you can either let the relationships of your household kind of develop naturally, see what happens, or you can pretty much outline what you want the relationships to be and see where the story goes from there. So as you can see, you can definitely go into dislike territory. You can't go into negatives of romance or chemistry. Those are basically just, you have it or you don't. Thank you so much for asking that question, Collie. Now we're going to move on to some other questions that actually I want to take you to the character customizer for. So let's go ahead and jump on over there. A quick disclaimer up top, we are working on our character customizer right now. We are working on improving the humans or characters, whatever you want to call them. Stay tuned for more updates on that later. This is just to answer some questions. From Aaron Hendricks, we received the question, can you randomize your name in the character customizer? And yes, you can actually randomize a couple of different aspects of your character. So as you can see here, you can randomize your job, you can randomize your house, your vehicle, your overall character. That's what the dice in the bottom left is. And of course you can write in whatever you'd like, you can drop down whatever you would like. We understand that some people want to randomize certain aspects of their characters but not others, so that's why we're trying to give you options here. For our last question, we received a couple of folks asking about bodies and body proportions. So I wanted to go ahead and walk you through some of the body adjustments you can make. We've shown this to you before, but we're continuing to edit and evolve it, so let me show it to you now. So here we have Jonathan, and I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of the torso adjustments, since I think that's where folks have been asking around the most. So you can adjust the shoulder width, and you can adjust the shoulder slope, and you can be pretty dramatic in both directions here. we're going to just leave this, but we wanted to show you that yes, you can definitely adjust this. We're still continuing to tweak our proportions and our randomizers, so stay tuned and we'll keep you posted. Under torso, you'll also find chest, breast, stomach, so here you have basically everything in that central area that you can control. Someone asked about hip width as well. Thank you, Nem, for the question. And yes, you can adjust the hips. You might want to adjust the hips based off what you do in the other areas of the body, but yes, you can definitely, if you decide to have wider or thinner hips, adjust accordingly. And of course, if the character ever isn't exactly what you wanted them to look like, or you change your mind later, you can always go back and edit your character later. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully that answered some of your questions. Feel free to ask any lingering questions in the comments, and we hope to answer them either in the comments, in future videos, and blogs. So thank you again, and have a fantastic weekend, everyone.